The new recruits thought she was invisible. To them, she was just a clerk, the quiet woman at the edge of the shooting range, checking air protection, logging ammo counts, reminding people not to cross the red line. No one knew her first name. They simply called her ma'am and went back to trying to impress each other with half-decent marksmanship. But Colonel Whittaker noticed something. It wasn't the way she stood there, calm, composed, shoulders slightly forward like someone ready to drop behind a scope at any second. It wasn't even her eyes always scanning, reading wind shifts without looking at a flag, watching the way bullets hit targets with uncanny precision. It was the way the noise didn't touch her, where recruits flinched at every shot. She didn't even blink. "Clerk, log the scores," the sergeant barked one afternoon. She nodded, jotting notes while recruits laughed at each other's missed shots. But then one of them, a young private, lowered his rifle and whispered to her, "I'll never get this. I'm useless." She looked at him for the first time all day. "Step aside," she said softly. He did. She adjusted the rifle, slid down into prone, and fired. One bullet dead center, then another, and another. 10 shots. 10 perfect holes touching each other like a single punch through the paper. The range went silent. "Ma'am," a broken bar, the private stammered. How did you?" She simply set the rifle down and went back to her clipboard. "You're not useless, you're just holding your breath too long. Let the air out, and trust your hands." Word spread like wildfire. Who was she? "Just a clerk, I think." "No clerk shoots like that." Finally, Colonel Whittaker called her into his office. "Ma'am," he said carefully, "I've been in this army for 30 years, and I've never seen a group of soldiers suddenly straighten up on a range like they did after you fired." "Care to explain yourself?" She hesitated. Then she slid a folder across his desk. Inside was a worn citation. The ink had faded, but the words were clear. 121 confirmed sniper kills. Afghanistan. The colonel's throat tightened. "Why didn't you? Why are you just sitting out there with the clipboard?" She smiled faintly. "Because I'm tired of taking lives, sir. I'd rather spend the rest of mine teaching young ones how to save them." A steady trigger finger can protect a brother in arms. A calm breath can make the difference between chaos and survival. "They don't need my past. They need my patience." Weeks later, the same private who had once called himself useless fired a perfect grouping at 600 yards. When he turned around, the clerk was watching. She didn't clap or shout. She just gave him the smallest note of one soldier to another. He never forgot it, and neither did Colonel Whittaker. He often said to his officers, "Don't underestimate quiet people. Some of them have carried heavier burdens than you'll ever know. Some of them are heroes who choose kindness over recognition." She remained the range safety clerk to most, a figure in the background with a clipboard and a quiet smile. But to the ones she taught, she was something greater. Not a killer, not a ghost of war, but a living reminder that true strength is found not in how many enemies you can put down, but in how many lives you choose to lift up. And in the silence of the range, when recruits whispered rumors about her past, she simply kept watching, kept teaching, and kept proving without saying a word that compassion is the most accurate shot of all. Scene 1, quiet train day, early morning. Wind rustles across the training range. Recruits laugh, argue, and miss their targets. The clerk moves quietly with the clipboard. Narrator, soft, steady. They thought she was just range safety clerk, a nobody, just another face keeping score. But heroes don't always arrive with medals on their chest or stories on their lips. Sometimes as a broken bar they hide in plain sight. Scene 2, the private struggle. A young private lowers his rifle, frustrated. Private, whispering, "I'll never get this. I'm useless." The clerk kneels beside him, takes the rifle, and without hesitation fires 10 flawless shots. Narrator, in that moment, every soldier froze. The noise of the range faded into silence, and the woman they ignored revealed just a glimpse of who she really was. Scene 3, Colonel's office. Colonel Whittaker studies the old, faded citation on his desk. 121 confirmed sniper kills. Colonel, stunned. "You a broken bar, you're a ghost in the mountains. And now you sit with a clipboard?" Clerk, gentle, weary smile, "Because sir, a broken bar, I've had enough of taking lives. Now I want to teach them how to save each other." Scene 4, the lesson. Weeks later, The same private fire is a perfect grouping. He looks back nervously. The clerk gives him a small, approving nod. Narrator: she didn't cheer, she didn't brag, just a nod. But that nod carried more weight than any medal. To a young soldier, it said, "And you are capable, you are not useless." And sometimes a broken bar, that's all it takes to change life. Scene 5, Transformation of the Range. Montage of recruits training harder, steadier, calmer. They whisper rumors, but their shooting improves. Narrator: her kindness reshaped the range. It wasn't fear of punishment that pushed them. It was the quiet strength of a woman who had walked through war and chose to bring peace instead. Scene 6, Final Reflection. The colonel watches her from afar. Recruits lined up, steadier than ever before. Colonel, to himself: don't underestimate the quiet ones. They're the ones who've carried the heaviest loads of broken bar and chosen to bear them with grace. Closing message. Soft music rises. Camera fades from the range to the open horizon. Narrator: inspiring tone. In the end, she wasn't remembered for 121 kills. She was remembered for 121 chances she gave others to stand taller, shoot straighter, and believe in themselves. Strength isn't in how many battles you win, it's in how many people you lift when they're ready to fall.